So we're just going to start by getting comfortable on our mat. We'll get into a flow, we'll stretch, we'll do some balance, we'll do some core building and some hip stretching and strengthening today. Before we begin our practice, let's just settle in for a second and put our right hand on our heart and our left hand on our belly. And just take a minute to close our eyes and get centered and grounded. And just bringing our attention to our breath and let our belly fill with air first. And then our chest as we inhale and then exhale all together. Just lengthening your inhale and exhale. Finding a little stillness as we breathe. Settling in, let our legs and hips and shoulders relax. A couple more breath cycles. And then once you feel centered and ready for practice, we'll just open our eyes and sweep our arms up and inhale. Big inhale and exhale. Heart down to our heart and then inhale, sweeping hands up. And exhale all the way down as we just make our way to all fours. And once we're on all fours, just take a minute to wiggle. You're just rocking side to side or forward and back, whatever feels good in this position for a minute. You can even scroll back into child's pose or lean forward and get your wrists. And then we'll just begin to move into cat cow, taking an inhale, look forward, dropping the belly. Inhale to cow and then exhale, rounding into cat. And just moving with your own breath. At your own speed, inhaling to look forward, dropping the belly, tailbone up to the sky, and then exhale to round it out. Moving whichever way feels good. Couple more rounds of breath with your movement. Planting our hands into the ground right under our shoulders, wrists under shoulders. Yeah. And then beginning to take planting hands. And like I said, wrist under shoulder. We want to avoid fingers under shoulder because that just puts too much stress on shoulders and wrists. So wrist under shoulders, and then begin by taking your knees together and then lengthening your right leg, lengthening the spine, pointing the toes, and then exhale to knees together. Other side, just lengthening. Exhale. One more time, each side, lengthen. Exhale, inhale to lengthen. Now, inhale to lengthen the right leg. And then we're just going to flex the foot, working the back of that leg, and then cross it over as far as you can over to the other side. And then look over that same shoulder over to those toes. And usually we try to keep our hips really squared, but today we're going to drop that right hip away from us and bring the left ribs and hips toward each other and lengthen out the right side of the body. Lengthen. Again, if there's some movement that feels really good, or if there's one spot that feels really good, just breathing into that space. And then take this same foot, lift it up and over out to the side, and we'll come up on all fours. I'll turn this way so you can see me. Inhale up and exhale into that same leg. Not putting any pressure on that leg, just reaching over, opening up the heart, opening up that left elbow, and then inhale all the way up and exhale out to the side into our very beginning side plank. So lots of options here. You can just use it as a stretch and reaching and stretching. If you'd like to add strength to your workout today, you could really plant that right foot and begin to play with the side plank. Any kind of side plank. You could work some balance. Whatever you'd like to play with. You can even play with child's pose and a little back bend. Whatever feels good in this practice on this side. And then coming out of this, come back to all fours. And I'm just going to face you so you can see what we're doing. All fours, keeping this leg out. And we're going to turn away, twisting away from that leg into our first twist. Lift the left arm away from that leg. And then we're going to thread the needle. Left arm goes under. So leg and arm are both going the same way. And an option here with this free arm, you can go into a little bind. You can take it overhead. I'm just playing with what feels good in this pose today. Just opening up our shoulders and our shoulder blades, peeling apart, opening the back of our heart. Breathing, finding our breath. And then just planting that right hand for support, peeling up out of this. You guys were all this way on your mat. So we're gonna tuck our left toes and kick this right leg back into a three-legged down dog. Nice. Very nice. Just stretching open, our first one of the day, finding some length. And then step this right leg halfway and lift the left leg up into a standing split. We're gonna keep our hips squared to the ground, so our split isn't gonna be huge yet. Just awakening the back of this right leg, hamstrings, maybe feeling in your back. And then drop the foot, exhale the forward fold, ragdoll, grab those arms. Gently swinging side to side. Dropping the head, let it hang heavy. And then inhale to flat back. Inhale halfway up, lengthening the spine. Tailbone goes opposite of the crown of the head. And then exhale, forward fold. Do that 2 more times with your breath. Inhale to lengthen. Opening the heart, opening the chest, and then exhale, fold forward. 1 more time. And then find yourself in forward fold. And then from here, back down to all fours. We'll try the other side. Inhale to lift the left leg, and then cross it over as we exhale, as far as it can go comfortably. And then look over your right shoulder, lengthening out this left side of the body. That hip can drop back. Just really find some space, breathing into that space. And you can play with it, rocking forward, rocking hips. And then inhale, leg out to the side. As we come up, sweep it up. And then exhale over to the side. Again, avoiding putting any pressure on that leg. Just reaching over, peeling this right elbow open, heart peeling open. Right side of the body really lengthening. And then inhale up and exhale. I'll just turn so you can see. Exhale into your side plank option, yogi's choice, whatever you'd like to play with today. So many choices here. Playing with balance or strength. Or wild thing, a little back bend. Just it's just, yoga is just practice, which is another word for play. So just finding some joy and playfulness in our practice. Coming back, eventually finding our way here. And then tucking that right toe, kick the left leg into three-legged dog. Just open up that hip. Yeah, you can even bend that knee if that feels good. Lengthening. Nice. And then we're going to take a half step with this left leg and then bring our feet together. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And then bend the knees, sweep all the way up. Big inhale. And exhale to heart center. And just take a moment to close your eyes. Find grounding into the ground. Settling in to our practice. And just taking a minute to set our intention. Finding your breath. And for today, I wanted to talk about, because we're in such an interesting and different time that we haven't really been in before. I mean, today the skies are all gray because of fires burning and all the things that are happening. It's easy to fall into a mode of victim, of complaining, which complaining is coming from a place of helplessness, hopelessness, powerlessness, and victim, meaning there's nothing I can do. It's a very hopeless place. And so my invitation today is to set an intention for this practice and for this whole coming weekend. And if you'd like to extend it 7 days with me, I would love you to join me, of no complaining. We had a child who invited us to join in the no complaint thing. And this was a child who relished playing a victim. And it changed their life and it changed our life. We just started noticing when we were complaining in our thoughts or our words, and then we'd catch ourselves. So there's 3 things we can do to help kick us out of hopeless and helpless and powerless and victim mode. And it starts by noticing. So let's just start noticing with our intention to lift ourselves out of the muck of victim and begin to come into choice. Inhale, all the way up, sweep it up, heart lifted up to the sky. Exhale, dive down all the way. Nice forward fold. Inhale to flat back, lengthen halfway up. And then exhale, left foot steps way back, knee drops. Let's keep our toes tucked and just let the hips sink forward as we inhale forward. And then exhale as we lift the knee and look down. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale as we look forward. You could even add this. And exhale, lift the knee, look down. Just working our legs just a little bit. Hip flexors, open, inhale. And exhale, you could even, for more of a challenge, sweep the hands back. Let's do that. Keep going. Breathing in and exhaling. Chest to thigh here. Inhale, a couple more times. Moving with your own breath, stretching, reaching those hips forward, letting it go. So the first thing that we can do in our no complaining challenge, complaint eradication challenge, hold it right here. Keep holding, strong back leg, strong front leg. Sweep it all the way up to crescent. Beautiful. And then hands down, frame that foot, kick back into 3-legged dog. Oh, release that leg, open that hip up to the side, let the heel fall. Breathing. And then inhale to straighten that leg and step halfway. Exhale. Inhale to standing split. And often in standing split, we open that hip and try and get that leg high. We're just going to keep our hips squared. Lift it as high as it goes. Breathing, opening up the back, of the legs, strengthening our hamstrings. And then just step forward, fold, hang loosely, shake it out. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, deep forward fold. Maybe the legs are a little straighter. And then inhale all the way up. And exhale to heart center. Close your eyes. Find your breath. Find stillness. No positive resolution ever comes from complaining. Complaining is a place of stuck. So the first thing in our quest to overcome complaining and powerless and hopeless and victim, feelings of victim, is just to start noticing. Start noticing our thoughts, start noticing the way we talk. It's so hot outside, or I'm freezing. Just start noticing. This is so crazy. All these kinds of thoughts and words that we use. And what kind of energy, what do you feel when you think them and say them? Just start noticing. You can even write them down. That's step one. Let's just start noticing. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale without judgment, without expectation. We just are on a quest to start noticing for step one. Inhale to flat back. And exhale, step that right foot way back. Keep the toes tucked as you drop your knee. And then inhale to look forward. And exhale to look down and lift the knee. Nice and strong. Inhale to look forward, and you can keep it here or you can take it on up. Dropping the hips, opening, and then exhale down, lift the knee, chest to thigh. Let's do that several more times, just moving with your own breath at your own pace. And if you'd like to work balance and strength, you can sweep back. So just noticing. Am I complaining about myself, my others, about situations? Just noticing without any judgment. One more time, moving with our breath, inhaling up and exhaling, and then hold right here. Strong back leg, strong core, engaged front thigh. Nice, inhale all the way up to crescent. Woo, pressing through that left leg, stay with it. And then exhale down, frame the foot, kick back, three-legged dog. Oh, let that go. Nice job. You can bend that knee, open up that hip. So, yogi's choice here. What do you feel like? Are you ready for a down dog, a child's pose? Are you ready for a vinyasa? You could take a two-legged or a one-legged. Take whatever you'd like, and we'll find ourselves back together in that same one-legged down dog. And then step halfway forward into our standing split. Right leg goes up. So again, nice long left leg. Hips parallel to the ground. Extending our spine, extending that right leg. And then step together, forward fold, exhale. Inhale to flat back. Lengthening and exhale down deep. And bend the knees, sweep all the way up, big inhale. I'm stepping to the top of the mat. Exhale to heart. Closing our eyes. Finding our breath. Feeling the ground beneath us. A little gentle smile of joy. So step one is noticing, and that we're still stuck in that stuckness victim when we're just noticing our thoughts and our words and how we think, what we say. Step two is asking ourselves, is there something I can do about this? There's a difference between saying it's so hot outside, this weather has gone on for weeks like this. That's complaining. Stepping into step 2, asking myself, is there something I can do about this? Is it time to hydrate? Is it time to go inside? Is it time to turn up the AC or get a fan or go to the pool? What are things that I can do to mitigate the situation? Complaining, like I said, is stuck, hopeless, and letting go of our own responsibility. Step 1 is noticing. Step 2 is saying, oh, what do I have power to do? Can I fix something? Can I change something? Can I change me? Can I change my circumstances around me? And that is when we step into choice, which is the greatest gift that we have, is our choice, our ability to choose, agency. So we can choose, is this something I have? Is there something I can do? Noticing, is it my business, or is it someone else's business, or is it God's business? For example, oh, these fires are burning, the air is terrible, blah, stuck, hopeless. Well, natural disasters are God's business. Could I donate money? Could I stay inside? Could I buy an air filtering system? What can I do to help the situation? That's step 2, is to ask that question. So let's keep moving. Inhale, sweep it up, eyes open, bringing in all the goodness, all the love, all the possibility, diving down. Asking the question, what is possible here? Inhale to flat back, and then exhale, forward fold. And then as we inhale, we're going to sweep into chair. Just glance down and make sure you can see your big toes. Sitting back, again, awakening the hamstrings, the glutes, the thighs, the core. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. And then bringing our weight into our right foot. You might even want to play with the possibility of lifting the left. And again, balance is all about hips. So keeping the hips aligned with each other, we're going to stand into one-legged mountain. And then from here, exhale, hands to heart, and hitching from the hips. Hips stay squared, going into warrior 3. With an option to have your hands anywhere you'd like to play with them today. Forward, side, back, heart, keeping our focal point, our vision, keeping our hips squared to the ground, lengthening. Beautiful. Woo. Beautiful job. Okay, so we're going to step from here back to warrior 2. And just finding the ground, finding possibilities. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, elbow to knee. And then inhale, straighten that leg, reverse. And then exhale, hand halfway. Send those hips back. And we're going to come into triangle, except we're going to hold it right here like we're holding a beach ball. Long, lengthened spine. Hips going back, legs strong. If you're not feeling strong like that, or you're ready to release, feel free to put one hand down. Otherwise, we're going to do a little core lengthening, opening, peeling, rounding open, and then frame that foot. Kick it all the way back, 3-legged dog. Woo! And again, yogi's choice here. Are you ready for a child's pose or a down dog? Would you like some strength building? Take a vinyasa. Whatever you'd like, and then find yourself back in a 3-legged dog eventually. So we have been stepping halfway up. There's an option for that. We've also been playing with hops. So we're gonna hop and flip places with our feet and put the right foot halfway. So it looks like this. So we hop halfway and just playing with that. And then finding ourselves in standing split, keeping the hips squared, but maybe there's a little more length here. Maybe there's a little more in the back of that right hamstring. Keeping the hips aligned with each other. And then step together, forward fold, exhale. Inhale to flat back. I'm gonna walk to the top of my mat, forward fold, and then sweep it all the way up. Inhale, exhale to heart. Close your eyes. Settle in. So with the intention to eradicate complaining and victim for one day or for the weekend or for the whole week, if you'd like to join me. Step one, notice without judgment. Just start noticing where it shows up. Step two, asking a question. Is there anything I can do about this? Is there anything I can do to resolve or have influence or fix or change the situation or myself? Knowing that we can't change another person. As hard as we try, we only have influence for good. So that's step two, asking. Notice, ask. Step three is take action. Oh, I noticed that there is something I can do, and I will do that. Oh, I can contribute to the campaign that's going on right now. I could make a contribution, or I could make a phone call, or I could, etc. So take action. And just realizing what's my business, what's God's business, and let him do his work. What's other people's business, let them do their work, and I do mine. So that's step three. Let's get the other side. Inhale, all the way up, and exhale into chair. Again, just glance down, make sure you can see your toes, settling in. And if this is too much for your arms and your shoulders today, here or here, whatever your body is asking for. And then gently take your weight into your left side, keeping your hips squared. Lift the right foot up if you'd like to take that, finding your focal point, and then we'll stand up into one-legged mountain. Nice. Extending on the inhale, and then on the exhale, sweeping into warrior three. At your own pace. Hips are squared, keeping our focus. Lengthening that back leg, lengthening the spine, lifting, lengthening, and the hips stay squared. Nice. And then from here, we'll just step into warrior two. Settle your feet, dropping the shoulders, and then we'll just reverse with our inhale and a nice long exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, straighten out that leg, reverse triangle, and then exhale, hip goes out, hold that beach ball, opening up the right shoulder. Nice core work right here. Extending the spine, strong legs, keep with it, breathe. Breathe, noticing what's happening. Big inhale to lengthen, and exhale, plant those hands, kick back to three-legged dog. Woo! Nice job. So yogi's choice. What is calling to you to do right now? Child's, down dog, a vinyasa of some kind. We'll meet in down dog with that leg up again. And this option to do that hop where our feet trade places in the air, and trying to get this left leg halfway between our foot and our hands. There it is. And then we'll step into standing split. Really nice, strong left leg. Really extending that right leg, hips still squared. And maybe there's more length there than we thought. Just working with this. Option balance here if you'd like to take opposite hand to the ground, Same hand, grabbing around this ankle. A little more challenge, a little more balance going on. And then inhale to lengthen, exhale to forward fold. Nice job. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, bend the knees, reaching, taking in all the love, all the goodness, bringing it to our heart. And then taking our feet wide, pinky toes just right at the edges of the mat, and then sink down into squat. Nice. Just pressing those knees out with our elbows. Settling in, and with each inhale, breathe into those spaces where there's tightness or something, and then exhale it out. Let it go. And then planting our hands on the ground, we're just going to lift our hips up to the sky into a wide forward fold. And exhale, forward fold, lengthening, just opening up the back side of the body. And then heel toe your feet till they're about hip width, or you can even come together at more of a balance challenge. Bend the knees, sweep up. Inhale and exhale to heart. So one last balance challenge for the day. We'll do dancer pose. Start with the right hand. We'll try and go this way. Right hand on the heart, and then left hand goes forward. And this thumb is out to the side, and then this thumb is going to keep rotating around to the back as we grab the inside of our left foot. There we go. Pressing into our foot. This might be plenty for today. This right hand reminds us to lift and lengthen our heart, open our heart. If you'd like to practice pressing into that hand, foot into hand, pressing against each other, lengthening and lifting as our heart lifts, our foot lifts, opening to dancer. Again, it's all about the hips staying squared. I'm just playing with dancer. And an option to extend that arm, lifting and lengthening the spine and the heart. Woo! Lifting and pressing that foot back into your hand and just playing with it. Again, it's all about the hips and lifting. So just take a minute to play with dancer on this side. Strong standing leg, lifting, lengthening, opening. And then when you're done, just check it out. Coming back to heart center. Close your eyes. Find your breath. Ground into the ground. And then we'll start with a focal point. Left hand on heart, right hand. Open thumb to the side and then keep going till the thumb faces the back of the room, the back of the mat. And this may be the perfect quad stretch for today. And if there's more, you can push your foot into your hand. And see what's there, what's available. Nice, strong standing leg, pushing into our hand, lifting our heart, lengthening our spine, the crown of our head. Think lift and length, breathing, woo! And again, it's just practice. If we fall out, we just start over again. Nice. And when you're ready, just coming back to center. Feeling the ground beneath us, feeling our breath settling in. And we'll take our feet wide again and drop one more time into squat. Nice, to release that lower back. Lengthen, drop the tailbone, lift the crown of the head and really The spine grows an inch, opening the hips with our elbows. And if it helps to support yourself with your hands, that's totally great. If your heels aren't to the ground, that's great. Wherever you are today is perfect for today. It's perfect. And then, when you're ready, I'll just drop our hips to the ground and we'll come into our balance on our core practice, last core practice for the day. So grabbing our knees, legs can be wherever you choose today, lifting our heart, finding that space where we balance, and then we're gonna hold it for 5 breaths, lifting up, pulling the belly in, up, and under, strong, finding length in the spine, opening the heart, lifting. One more full breath. And then bottoms of your feet together and just round over, cobbler pose, exhale. Let those hips relax. You can even bounce your knees. Let's do that one more time. So finding a spot that will give us a little bit of a challenge today, building some strength, working our hip flexors, our core, lifting, dropping the shoulders down away from the ears. At the same time, our heart, our collarbones lift up, finding breath. Shaking is okay. Woo. One more breath cycle. And then bottoms of your feet together, release it and fold over. Beautiful. You can walk your hands out. You can grab your feet and use your elbows, whatever you'd like to do today. Letting those hips just settle down, breathing into them. Allowing opening and releasing of that most core muscle, our psoas muscle, that muscle of the soul. And then on your next inhale, bring it up, bring your knees in and just hug around. Drop your chin, pull the shoulders away as the shoulder blades open up the back of the heart. Drop the chin, feel that stretch all the way from the tailbone all the way up to the top of the head. Leaning back just a little into our arms, we get that full stretch. And then we'll just release our hands behind us for tabletop. Fingers pointing whichever direction is most comfortable for you. And then lifting up the hips. Feet are hip width apart, knees stay right over our ankles. Lifting hips, opening our shoulders. Chin can stay up and parallel, or you can drop it back. Whatever you're feeling today, lift, lengthen, come up out of your shoulders and release. Grab your knees, round it out. Just breathing, settling in to where we start noticing our thoughts again. Keep noticing with the intention to notice thoughts and words of complaining. Step 1. Step 2, ask, is there anything I can do about this situation? What can I do? Is it my business? Is it someone else's? Or is it God's business? And where do I fit in? I fit in taking care of my business and supporting others in there. Supporting, not taking it on. Supporting. Influence for good, positive, not trying to control or change without expectation. In God's business, we're in service to Him. to the divine, to source. So asking, notice, ask, and 3, act. That is coming into choice. That's coming into our own power. That's stepping big time out of victim and into changing our lives for good. And when we change our lives, when we change our energy, when we change our focus from victim to powerful, we become a powerful force for good in the world. So last thing, peace fingers grab our big toes. Happy baby. Let's just rock side to side. You can even do a little ninja baby and lengthen out that leg. So we rock. So we're keeping our knees bent to keep our psoas muscle relaxed. Kind of worked it, and now we're relaxing it. Just bring your ankles together, and can you reach outside your knees and grab your toes? And rock in a little circle, one direction. Breathing into any spaces that are still holding on. And exhale it out. And then cross your ankles the other way. It'll feel different, and that's okay. Grab your toes and circle the other direction. It might feel completely different on this side. That's okay. And then just gently release your feet. Let your feet drop to the ground and knees to one side. And look away over the other shoulder. Inhale to center, exhale the other way. Just giving our lower back a final relaxed twist. And then inhale to center. Option for Shavasana, you can put the bottoms of your feet together in like a butterfly cobbler pose here. That'll keep our psoas muscle released and relaxed. If it's uncomfortable, if anything's pinching, feel free to just straighten your legs. You could even do one leg and then the other. As long as one knee is bent, the psoas will stay relaxed. So that's an option too. Palms up. Coming to our breath. And then letting all our thoughts and everything that may be swirling around, let it swirl and come to the very center point in our brain. That's the eye of the storm, where there's stillness. And then lift your gaze up to your third eye between your eyebrows. Let your eyes gaze there as we stay at the center of our brain, in the eye of the storm, finding stillness. And this time on our mat right here is just the practice of finding that space and being able to stay in it for longer and longer periods of time. Some days it's more challenging than others, and no judgment on that. Just practicing finding that stillness, because that center spot, that still space, is where we come into connection with source and with our highest self. So that's the goal, is to find that connection, and then we can truly connect with others. with an invitation here to stay in Shavasana as long as you're able to, at least 5 minutes if you can, if you're able to. Just practicing finding that stillness is what yoga is all about. That's what the work is all about, so that we can come into greater connection with ourselves, with our source, and then be in connection with other people in a healthy way. So just to review, the complaint eradication invitation today, over the weekend if you're up to it, and then all week if you're feeling really excited about making some positive changes in your life fast. 1, begin noticing complaining. Notice how you feel, how hopeless and helpless and powerless and victim, and not taking responsibility, not feeling responsible. That's noticing. Step 2, asking, what could I do? What's possible for me to do in this situation? Is there something for me to do, to act? And then step 3 is to act and take that action, noticing what's mine to carry, what someone else's to carry, supported by the divine. We're all supported. We're all able to do our own business, and God is able to do his. And what's my part to step out of complaining and into agency and choice and power? Anyway, thank you for being here today. It was a great practice. Have a wonderful weekend. And next week we will be talking about a little bit more about the same, not the same thing. We'll come at it from a different perspective, victim and martyr and fixing and rescuing. And then I invite you to join me for the next 8 weeks, beginning in September, for a self-compassion, 8 weeks of self-compassion. We'll focus on something different each week. So if you're wondering what self-care is, what does it really mean? What is self-compassion? Is it selfish? I invite you and anyone else you'd like to invite to join us for September and October to mindful self-compassion, 8 weeks. Anyway, love you all. Thank you for being here. I will see you soon.